What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got some crazy news here. So we got news here yesterday that Russia bombed their own city. And I'm sure Russian President Vladimir Putin is not happy about this. Well, now we're getting some interesting news here that after Russia bombed their own city, that explosives were found at the same site. And this is disturbing for multiple different reasons here. One, well, first of all, why was Russia bombing? Well, one, their own city, which was an accident. But two, why were they bombing apartment buildings, which were supposed to be Ukraine? You guys can let me know your thoughts on that in the comments section. But why were there explosives found at the same site in this Russian city of Belgrade? Take a look at this here. 17 apartment buildings were evacuated Saturday in a Russian city near the Ukrainian border, albeit it was 25 miles away, after an explosive device was found at the site where a bomb was, quote, accidentally dropped by a Russian warplane. But now we're kind of wondering, was it accidentally dropped? And caused a powerful blast this week. And Russian authorities have admitted this, okay? Because at first they were saying it was Ukraine. And then the Russian military said, oh, no, it was us by accident. A bomb blast late Thursday rocked part of Belgrade, leaving this is a city of like 350,000 people, leaving a large crater and 3 people injured. By the way, this is all they're telling us. They're not telling us if there's any people dead. They're saying only 3 people were injured, which is hard to believe because this bomb was like 1,100 pounds. And it's a little, I don't know, you can let me know your thoughts on this, but I think it's a little far-fetched. The Russian Defense Ministry quickly acknowledged that the weapon accidentally released by one of its own Su-34 bombers caused the explosion. The ministry said an investigation was underway but did not elaborate on the details of the weapon, which a military expert said was likely a powerful 1,100-pound bomb. And the governor of the Belgrade province that was examining the site of the blast decided to detonate what he called an explosive object that was in the immediate vicinity of residential buildings. The precautionary evacuations ended later that day, according to the Belgrade mayor, saying, quote, the bomb was removed from the residential area. Residents are being delivered back to their homes. Russian authorities did not say if the detonated device was dropped by accident on Thursday, and if so, if it was a remnant of or separate from the bomb that exploded in the city. Belgrade, which is 25 miles from the Russian-Ukrainian border, has faced drone attacks from Ukraine, but obviously this is something different. Yeah, so first of all, why are they bombing apartment buildings, which they obviously thought was a Ukrainian apartment building, which turned out to be their own Russian apartment building? You can't make this stuff up. Secondly, there was explosives found in or around this apartment building. Why are they there? In Russia, 25 miles outside of Ukraine. I know, try to piece this together. So, was this sabotage by their own Russian people? Remember, this is a Russian pilot flying their own jet with this bomb. I mean, are they in cahoots with a Ukrainian person that snuck in and put the bomb there? Which is farther fetched. I mean, it's possible, right? But, or did a Russian plant the bomb there and a Russian pilot bomb their own city in protests of the war? Or like what's going on here? I mean, at first we're like, okay, it was an accident, but now there's also a detonations bomb in the area as well, and it's like something else is amiss here. And first of all, they bombed the city that's 25 miles outside of the border. I mean, that's a big miss. It's not like it was 2 miles outside of the border, 25 miles outside of the border. And I also found it interesting that Russia didn't use this as a false flag event and say, "Oh, I'm surprised they even admitted it." First of all, why even admit it and say, "Oh, why not just blame it on Ukraine and say, "Oh, Ukraine bombed us"? It would have been the perfect excuse for them to escalate their war efforts and say, Ukraine bombed us 25 miles. And of course, Ukraine would have denied it, but they could have just said, oh, we didn't do it. Why would we bomb our own people? Right? That would have been the perfect point or place for them to say, Ukraine bombed us 25 miles inside our own territory. But they actually admitted it. They're probably regretting that. But yeah, it's just unbelievable. I don't even know what to make of this story. Um, Putin is probably fit for a straitjacket here at this point. Wow. Wow. So what do you think happened here? Do you think that these are saboteurs? Do you think these are protesters? Do you think that these are I mean, maybe they're Ukrainian people, but like how's the pilot there? I mean, we obviously it's a Russian pilot. It's not like a Ukrainian person snuck in and piloted the plane. I mean, I guess anything's possible, right? But I mean, highly unlikely, right? And then we got the US urging NATO vigilance for signs Russia could use nuclear weapons in Ukraine. They're growing pretty concerned about this. You can see major headlines here saying that, quote, we have all watched and worried that Vladimir Putin would use what he considers a non strategic tactical nuclear weapon or some demonstration effect to escalate, but in a managed risk escalation. It is very critical to remain watchful of this. This comes as Putin's announcement that Russia is preparing to station tactical nuclear weapons in neighboring country Belarus, quote, in his effort to use this threat in a managed way. Tactical nuclear weapons are designed for battlefield gains for use against limited military targets. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, who joined Sherman in opening the conference, called Putin's plan to place tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus part of a years-long pattern of, quote, dangerous, irresponsible nuclear rhetoric that intensified with, quote, the brutalization of Ukraine. The alliance, he said, is, quote, monitoring very closely what Russia are doing. Yeah, so you can let me know your thoughts here. Do you think that Russia will try to use tactical nuclear weapons to make advances on the battlefield in Ukraine as they've largely been stalled here for quite a long time? Yeah. So I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country and around the world here. If you haven't, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. Here's some videos you should watch next. Trillions of dollars were just announced by Congress here in this video. And Putin plans to attack the United Kingdom, Europe, and maybe the United States. Details here in this video. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.